Will Smith is suffering a self-inflicted PR nightmare right now.
That's rough.
He recently posted a video from one of his concerts that immediately clocked to people as being heavily edited, AI generated. At the very least, something was giving them Uncanny Valley vibes about this whole video. And we're not sure if Will Smith is to blame for this or someone on his team or maybe YouTube itself.
Yeah.
So let's show the video where people are using this to accuse him of, you know, pretending to have fans.
Okay, so here's the one from Fearbuck.
Dog runs out of range.
Sorry, I gotta mute it, Will.
Okay, so just like look at the texture of the faces and the cardboard
right there you can see
signs,
it.
and the lighting is very weird.
Do you know what primed everybody for this? It's all of the Sigma grind set.
The
edits
filters.
the filters that they
Do you
put
see
over
the
it.
chick that you just showed who's like holding up the sign before this? She's doing this. She's going like this. No one actually moves like that. Like, she looks like an animatronic person. And they're all
So this is the one that drew everybody's
yeah,
attention.
you can make it. What did it say? Helped me survive cancer. Thanks, Will.
Yep.
Okay. Like the font that they have on the cardboard signs also looks like a lot of AI generated text I've seen before.
Okay.
And everyone's just
Bopping along.
crying their eyes out because he just means so much to them.
I wonder if he was playing Miami when they were
Not a
sick.
phone in sight, except for when they pan away from the crowd and you see
Yes.
lights everywhere, right? Isn't that weird?
That is weird.
All the crowd footage that's up close, no one has their phone in the air, and then when they zoom out away from the crowd, it's phones everywhere. So yeah, I think he's trying to astroturf himself into relevancy. I don't know if he's personally responsible for this, because he did post the same video on Instagram, and it didn't look like this. It looked completely natural and normal, and the lighting was not giving me Uncanny Valley. It's just a high definition video. Yeah, and
Here's
so people are saying that it's actually YouTube's fault.
Yep, because YouTube is now AI
Yes.
smoothing everybody's faces without
And
your
you,
permission.
you can't
Really?
opt out of it.
Thankfully.
YouTube has just started using this feature on Shorts content. They're secretly using AI to edit people's videos. Skin is being smoothed or sharpened. Features like ears are being altered. YouTube did confirm there is an experiment on Shorts to, quote, unblur and improve clarity.
Which is-
and there is currently no way to opt out of this feature. And it was confirmed by this guy who works at YouTube. He literally calls himself the YouTube liaison on X. Responded to some of the criticism and said, we're not using Gen AI, no generative AI, no upscaling. We're running an experiment on select YouTube shorts that uses traditional machine learning tech to unblur, denoise, and improve clarity in videos during processing, similar to what a modern smartphone does when you record a video. YouTube is always working on ways to provide the best video quality and experience possible, and will continue to take creator and viewer feedback into consideration as we iterate and improve these features. Okay. So I don't think it's an improvement in quality because it literally looks less real. It looks like a low quality video that was put through a filter. And the original version that he posted looks better.
Yeah.
So there was no improvement made. And the distortion of the text on the cardboard signs makes me think it is using generative AI and he's lying. Which
This person here on Instagram, Heather Ashley Boyer, says, this is AI. My face and body was used in this, and I was definitely not there in real life. It just straight up copied and pasted me. But she had, like, her whole
Oh.
page is about, like, SAG-AFTRA, and I don't know if I buy it.
methinks ulterior motives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not going to put any stock into that.
Yeah, but they're not allowing anybody to opt out of this feature. They're just using all of the content for
Yeah.
their own technology and data
Imagine
harvesting.
you spend a bunch of money to get a nice long lens so that you can have like good blur behind you, like depth of field when you're shooting your videos, and YouTube just finds a way to unblur it.
Everything is the
It
highest
will be in
definition
focus,
possible.
Yeah. It's also one of those things like the way that people record what is called content now is so different from what it was like 20 years ago. Like it took me a very long time doing this to get used to being in the center of a frame, because if you work in that industry, you don't frame anything in the center. That the rule of thirds exists for a reason. It's not interesting to see somebody framed in the center of a shot. If you're shooting something that's a movie or a television show, even interviews most of the time, if you're shooting something, like if we were doing an interview together, I'd be framed on the left and you'd be framed on the right, so that when you shoot between them, it doesn't feel like somebody's just replacing the body right in the middle with somebody else there. So the way that content is created now is so vastly different from the way it was taught to people even 15 years ago. And the technology is doing that as well, as all of the, whether it's upscaling for programs like this, like nothing looks real, like nothing feels authentic anymore.
Yeah.
Like there is such a thing, like a lot of people, they put a lot of, they'll put YouTube videos in 60 frames per second upscaling, and it looks horrible. Mary loves that though. You love the 60 frames per second because it looks like you turned off the motion blur on your TV.
Oh, I love motion blur
Oh.
personally.
No,
It's
you
my
like
preference.
it. You like it when it's off.
Oh, when it's off, right?
Yeah.
Right. It's like nostalgic for me.
Yeah, Mary wants everybody to look like stick figures, like when they're moving around.
As
and,
much detail all the time as imaginable.
yeah,
Watching like movies on your grandparents' television as a kid, and the motion blur is off.
well, it's what happens when you watch soap operas.
Feels like having
soap
a fever
operas look
dream.
like that. Yeah,
I like it, but I don't like this. And two theories. One is that Will Smith is just desperately scratching his way up the ladder, and like he's just trying to maintain relevancy when, he's a has-been, and that's just the truth.
I mean, I just saw a
And-
thing today. I just saw a thing today that the Backstreet Boys are making more money right now on residency in Las Vegas than they've ever made in their entire career.
Yeah.
He should just go do a freaking Vegas residency.
That would probably do well for him. Yeah.
Like they said that like there's like no overhead because they're in the same place every night. They paid like $8 million flat for all of the graphics that show up. Is it like the Sphere or whatever, like wherever all the graphics show up on, and they're pulling in just millions and millions of dollars.
Even though Vegas is like falling off.
I was just thinking that. I wonder
But it's-
how
but
long
it's
that
for-
can be. I wonder how long that can be sustained, considering the the amount of people that go to Vegas is way down. I know a lot
Right.
of that has to do with booze. Like young people don't go and drink the way that older people do.
Yeah, but it's not. But Backstreet Boys, it's millennials, and that's who Will Smith's audience
And
would
Gen
be,
X.
and Gen X. Like that, those are the ones that are going to see him.
But Vegas tourism is down by a lot, and it is, as you said, to do with Gen Z not drinking, but they also just don't show up there, and they gamble with their smartphones at home. So
That is extremely true. They're
they
like,
don't
why
have-
would I go?
they don't have money for vacations, period. So
They're like, look, I can go watch a Backstreet
Yeah.
Boys YouTube video and gamble on.
Vegas is falling off for
Dragon
other
Gangs.
reasons,
One of
but
the things that people might not realize is like if you're going to Vegas, you can get a package with like any number of the casino hotels that's actually very reasonable because they want you to go there and spend your money gambling.
Right.
Because that's all pure profit.
That was what it was before. Like, it was
Yeah.
like that was why the alcohol was free, and they would get you anything to get you in the door.
Yep.
well, life hack: become a gambling addict, and they'll give you free vacations. My other theory as to why this is happening on YouTube's end is they're basically trying to acclimate us to AI generated visuals so that it will be undetectable whether something is real or not real or somewhere in the middle. So if everyone's human generated content still looks indistinguishable from AI generated content, you're not going to be turned off from watching AI content in the
Yeah.
future. That's kind of the first step in forcing this, manufacturing consent for this to take over our screens.
Also, they think Will Smith is broke.
Yeah, there was a recent report that Will Smith's money woes are revealed. Hollywood outcast struggling to maintain properties as his $400 million fortune dwindles. It says married stars Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith have been downsizing their property holdings And insiders say he is struggling to foot the massive upkeep costs that are burning a major hole in his bank account as his career dwindles. Sources said the couple listed a Woodland Hills home in March for $2 million and previously sold a 5-bedroom house in Maryland for $795K before the notorious Oscars slapgate in 2022.
I don't know if I
They're
believe this.
spending an absolute fortune maintaining the rest of their properties, and somewhere down the road it's going to fall to pieces. As rich as Will is, it's getting harder to keep up with enormous bills, especially with them not living together. Yeah, they're no longer together. Things are still not resolved between them, and it's looking more and more like that'll be a permanent split, but he's still on the hook for expenses. Ever since Slapgate, it's been a stream of money pouring out and very little coming in, even though he's trying to tour right now and put out new music.
Oh,
I guess Pretty Girls
wait.
wasn't exactly like smashing the charts.
Slapgate was 2023.
22.
So Bad Boys Ride or Die was 2024. He was both a star of that movie and a producer. He was a producer and executive producer on Cobra Kai all the way up until its end.
He said, Will is not bringing in the kind of cash you would expect to sustain the kind of lifestyle that he and Jada Pinkett Smith enjoy. Everything he seems to do gets hammered, and he was torn to pieces over his music comeback. People hated his album, mocked his lyrics, calling them silly. It's going to take more than a wing and a prayer to get Will out of his financial mess.
We'll have to wait and see, but
I think a lot of celebrities are pretending to be rich when they're like richer than they are by a lot.
Yeah, he's gonna have to sell that.
It's all about appearances.
Red Table Talk. They're gonna have to sell the table from Red Table Talk.
Could they
Oh,
auction
that's
that
awful.
off?
Yeah, we'll have to auction it off to somebody.
Nobody
terrible.
wants
The
that.
cuck table.
Nobody wants that.
He should make Wild Wild West 2. That's what he should do.
I don't know. He's just not cool anymore. I don't remember a time when Will Smith was cool.
The idea though, or the idea that he's not making enough money to pay for his bills, like his expenses have got to be insane.
Enormous,
because
yeah.
Cobra Kai was successful, and Bad Boys, whatever 2 or whatever was successful as
It's
well.
like 4 at that point.
4, is it?
Faux life.
Well, I mean, that was fairly successful. I can't imagine that it's
Yeah.
a bad showing at the box office, because I feel like, and this is just my impression, but I feel like the people that would go to see Will Smith kind of don't stay up with what is or isn't cool, right?
Yeah.
If Will Smith fell off, the people that want to see Will Smith don't know that Will Smith fell off because they're
Yeah.
probably older, my age or older.
Yeah,
you know?
that's why they gotta go see him at a Vegas residency.
Even the cardboard signs they were holding up in the, whether they were real or not in the video, were all about like, remember when you were cool? Like, take us back to Bel Air. One of the signs said that.
Somebody's gonna make an AI videos like remember don't you want to go back to a time when Will Smith was cool?
Yeah.
Like that 80s video.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I do
imagine-
want to go back to
I
that
imagine
time.
there's a lot of nostalgia in that audience.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.